Yes, I said finders keepers, kid, and you should fire your parents and get new ones.
Thank you for playing.
Of course. Do I get a kiss?
Wow, I haven't had that much accent in a long time, actually.
And you want to talk about people getting mad at a puppet? He's been
I
punched.
just kissed a puppet
Yes.
of Donald Tramp.
He actually got. He's been like.
You're good.
Thank you. He had a bodyguard when we went to Milwaukee.
MeMeCherry presents a series of fortunate events. Fortunate events. Fortunate events. A series of fortunate events.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, everybody, to the latest episode of the series of Fortunate Events podcast, brought to you by who? Still me, MeMeCherry, and our sponsor, Neil Does Art. But today, I'm joined by...
April Brucker.
Oh my gosh, April is an actress, comedian, author, and television personality best known for her work as a ventriloquist. She's appeared on numerous TV shows, including Entertainment Tonight, Inside Edition, My Strange Addiction, I'm already like so obsessed and in and sold, The Wendy Williams Show, and What Would We Do? April spent more than a decade in New York City, taking the stage at top comedy clubs, including Broadway Comedy Club, New York Comedy Club, and Stand Up New York. First of all, what was your strange addiction?
Oh gosh, my strange addiction was when I was a kid. I would tell my dad, talk to the hand. You know, you were a 90s kid, right?
Yes.
Talk to the hand. Well, and he said, April, you're never going to be able to do anything with that. And so, Mr. Hand, what happened?
Well, April the king of ventriloquist.
That was my strange addiction. I left my fiance for my puppets.
I love that for you.
Thank you.
And Wendy Williams, you were on the Wendy Williams. That's so iconic.
Yes, Wendy is iconic, and you know, I hope things work out for her. But Wendy is an American institution.
Yes. And so when you were stomping around in the New York scene, what years were these?
Oh gosh, these were I moved to New York City in 2003 to attend the Tisch School of the Arts. And I stayed for a little over a decade, and I was here, there, and everywhere in New York City. But the thing is that New York made me the woman that I am today.
Sure.
And it made me the ventriloquist I am today because I met my fiance. He said, me or the puppets. At first, I chose him, and I mean, he proposed on the third date.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which, you know, is like really romantic, but it's really a red flag. Like, who would have thunk it?
I know, right?
Yeah. And so he proposed on the third date, and he got down on one knee.
Okay.
Yeah, and I thought, I'm going to be married forever. And then he said, it's me or the puppets. And so I thought, you know, I really want to be a professional ventriloquist, but I also want to be a wife. You know, I don't want to be alone forever. And so I put the puppets under the bed. And I chose him, and, you know, the relationship got worse. Apparently, he was controlling.
What?
Yeah, like, you know, there were
Somebody that says the puppets are me?
Yeah, exactly. And so, anyway, it was like, whoa, you mean he's like, he's really not a nice guy.
No.
And so,
I'm sorry.
to help me tell the next part of the story, I have...
Are we going to have a special guest maybe join us?
Oh, she will.
I love special guests on this show.
Hey, are you ready to join us?
Oh my gosh, please, can I please welcome to the stage, ladies and gentlemen,
May Wilson.
May Wilson, welcome to the stage.
SF.
No. Actually, we might want to take her and put her in the room.
Wow, and so Honey is having
That
a
is
very
quite the
strong
reaction.
reaction
let's
to
take
May.
her. Let's take her.
Hello.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage.
Welcome to the stage, May Wilson.
May Wilson.
Hello.
Hi, Miss May.
I love your microphone.
Yes.
And I love the fact that, you know, you're a diva, I'm a diva, and we're going to be on this podcast.
First of all, do we have the same hairstylist? I love your hair.
Thank you. And I love yours.
That's
you know,
gorgeous.
But April, you were talking about that fiancé of yours?
Yes.
Yeah, the one that I left, the one that said me or the puppets.
Okay, this is what happened. I told April he's a loser because he had no job.
Okay, that's true. Okay. So anyway, he made me choose between him and the puppets, and I put you under the bed.
Yes, and I got more bugs than Kim Kardashian, and not the fun kind, okay? So anyway, April misses us. She goes under the bed. I'm collecting dust, all right? Dust.
How dare she?
Thank you. And so, what did you say?
I said, I miss you, May.
And I said, you know what to do. So I walked into the kitchen on April's arm.
Oh.
And I looked at him and I said, April's chosen.
Oh.
And
oh.
she's chosen moi,
Oh.
not you.
Oh.
And P.S. I have a magnifying glass and I still can't see your dick.
I would choose you too, my darling.
Yeah, but well, see, May, I did the right thing, and so he was not happy about being dumped for May. And what did you say?
I said he's a loser.
And then here's the kicker: after I dumped him, he called me to tell me he got back with his ex-girlfriend. And what did you say, May?
I said, well, the trash took itself out and found a bigger piece of trash.
Yeah, but May and I, we were rocking and rolling.
But enough about him. Let's talk about the sugar daddies in Las Vegas.
Let's talk about the sugar daddies. How sugar are they?
Okay. Like, I have one that is...
Just one?
Well, I have
Oh,
several.
this one. This one. We're speaking of one specifically.
He's
What
the
are we
one-
calling this one?
Hot Wheels.
Okay, Hot Wheels. Okay, tell me about Hot Wheels.
Yeah, May, is he into classic cars?
No, he has an electronic motor scooter.
And do they burn a little bit because the battery runs out?
Yes, but here's the good news. He's 99 years old.
So he's almost on his way out?
Yes, and my opening line to him was, excuse me, do you need an executor for your estate?
And what did he say? Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you. And he said, you remind me of my granddaughter.
And you said, yes, thank you.
And I said, yes, thank you. And I said, do you want to see some rose bushes?
Rose bushes?
Yeah, I lifted out my shirt and I showed him some rose bushes.
You're making me a little hot under the collar here, ma'am.
But May, why not just get a job?
You said the J word.
But May, Mimi's got to work. I got to work.
I'm too pretty for work.
I think your jobs are probably just done maybe one-on-one, right?
Yes. You see, I don't W-O-R-K. I W-E-R-Q.
Yes. Work.
But, I'm really rebounding because my last sugar daddy died unexpectedly at the age of 101.
Wow, did he die?
Yes. And let me tell you, his kids were so disrespectful, okay?
How disrespectful.
Let's just put it this way. We were having Thanksgiving dinner.
Okay.
And his daughter got all salty that he left me everything in the will.
What happened next?
I said, well, I'm getting breast implants and I'm naming them, Chi-Chi.
And Chi-Chi.
Yeah, Chi-Chi and Chi-Chi.
So it's Chi-Chi.
Exactly. And she said, oh my gosh, that's my grandmother's name.
I was going to say that's what my hairstylist calls my dog.
Yeah, that you named her poops after Granny. That is kind of bad. What did your sugar daddy say?
What did he say?
Well, he said, this is why I'm leaving everything to May. She respects her elders.
You are very respectful, May. I can see that about you.
Thank you. You see,
I think you're also very popular, right?
Oh, I am so popular.
How popular are you?
Oh gosh. Okay, let's just put it this way. April was in the supermarket the other day, and she starts talking to this lady.
This is true. And she says, what do you do? And I said, I'm a ventriloquist. I do shows here in Las Vegas. And I handed her my bookmark with May on it. And May, what did she say?
She said, oh my gosh, I recognize her. And she pointed to moi.
That is true. May gets more recognition than I do. And people constantly say, I know that puppet.
The correct term is textile American.
Ooh, okay. What's it like to be the one with the famous textile American?
Oh gosh, she is May gets herself into some hijinks. We were doing a show here in Vegas for 9 months. We were the special guest stars.
No. I was a special guest star.
You're the star.
Exactly. I was the special guest star. You see, you just came with me.
May, there's no I in team.
But there's a me.
So we're doing the show, and at the end of our set, we're singing Mr. Sandman. And there was this drunk guy that was kind of being disruptive all night, and he stands up and he screams, "Oh my gosh, the puppet can sing!"
I can't sing. Hello, Beyonce. Cowboy Carter, yeehaw.
But you actually do sing, and you had a Christmas song out, didn't you, May?
What's your Christmas song?
What's the Christmas song, May?
It's called Merry Christmas. I'm so glad I didn't marry you.
Is this inspired by your previous relationship?
Yeah, it's inspired by the relationship with the fiance, and what inspired us to write it was after I was on My Strange Addiction for leaving my fiance for my puppets.
Sure. Which, congratulations.
Thank you. The UK Daily Mail
okay.
did a story on me,
Okay.
and actually that's crazy too. I was on Twitter, and I get this message: "Psst, is it true that you left your fiance for your puppets?" And May, you answered,
Actually, yes, I did. Even though I don't have opposable thumbs. I said, duh.
and so anyway, they interviewed me, and the next thing I know, it goes viral from England to Iceland to Italy, then Russia, China, India, then Ghana to Nigeria to Kenya, then Singapore to Indonesia to Australia, then from Colombia to Brazil to Guatemala.
That's right. We are celebrities in Guatemala.
I love this.
And the headline read as follows: Ventriloquist who splashes out 20 grand a year on her puppets that even have their own bedroom dumps her fiance after he says it's them or me. So I thought I had my Mr. Right. Boy, was I wrong. So I'm not looking for Mr. Right. I'm just desperately seeking Mr. Okay.
April, what are you doing on this podcast looking for a random guy from Oklahoma? I mean, seriously, I don't know what to do with her.
So, but anyway, so we got on the UK. So we were going all around the world, yada, yada. And Costas Dino, who is a Grammy-nominated producer, says to me, "You should do a Christmas song with one of your puppets."
I love this.
And I thought he was crazy.
And I said, he's not crazy, April. You're the one that talks to dolls. He's onto something.
So we recorded a Christmas song, and it went all around the world this past Christmas.
Oh my gosh.
We were on the radio here in the United States, in England. We were on the radio in the West End with people that had been, Olivier Award winners.
And I said, of course, I'm a star. They're on the radio with Law.
Okay, May,
Wow.
check the ego.
I don't have to check the ego, April. I'm the only reason you have a career.
This is what I got to deal with. And then we were on the radio in Australia. We were on the radio in New Zealand. We were on the radio all throughout, I believe, Hungary, Spain, South America, like a lot of different places, like all over the world with this song.
What was your favorite place to visit, May?
What was your favorite place that you were on the radio?
Well, we actually made the song that its debut on iHeartRadio on the Kyle and Jackie O show.
And that's the #1 morning radio show in Australia.
Trabajo, as I like to say, instead of work. Yes.
Yeah, see?
And so they came here to Las Vegas. And what happened was they heard about the song. They were going to be in town. And they said, "Hey, do you and May want to be on?" And they messaged me. And at first, I wasn't sure whether or not it was for real.
Yeah.
But then I got a call from Australia, and the accent's so thick that he's like, "Hi, we're from the Carl and Jackie O show." And I'm like, "Carl? No, Carl. And so we came in, and but basically it was, but basically the other thing was too is they said, "Oh yeah, you and May are, like we'll do whatever works for you,
Sure.
and if we see you, whatever, if we're in town." So yeah, they got us in the studio, and that's all she wrote. And you got on the air, right, May?
Yes.
Yes.
And I hit on Kyle so hard.
Did you guys go on a date?
As if he did not get, he said something about a wife.
Oh.
When does that ever stop the guy?
Oh.
Seriously,
Don't let your future boyfriend be stopped by his current wife.
that's what I say. Don't let your future boyfriend be stopped by his wife or his children, okay?
Exactly.
But you just had a heartbreak a few months before.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yes. You see, I was dating this guy, and he said, "You know how I promised you a butler, May?
Okay.
A butler, yes.
I don't make enough money."
How dare you?
Exactly. And so he said, "I only like 6 figures when you require 7.
Ooh.
Yeah, at least 7. So what did you say to him?
I said, well, you could always dress your son and daughter up like a butler and a maid.
Ooh.
Wow. And what did he say?
He said something about them being 6 and 8 years old. I said, it's never too early to start earning money for college. Duh.
I feel like you would do so good on a telenovela.
I've been trying to get on.
Yeah.
You see, I was on Telemundo.
Okay.
Yeah, she was actually on Telemundo.
Tell me about this, please.
Well,
As somebody who grew up in Puerto Rico watching Telemundo, and now I live in California, and most of the time my Spanish does not sound like I'm from Puerto Rico. I call it my Telemundo Spanish. I am now even more obsessed with you. And I don't know if that was possible.
Yes, and we were in Alfosera.
Oh.
Yes, because I want the chicas. Yes, mi guapo.
Yeah, they profiled us on Telemundo, and so we didn't know about this until somebody sent us the link. And May, you were dubbed over in Spanish, and May and I even attempted to do an interview in Spanish, and I had a friend from back in New York who, I guess his parents were from Puerto Rico, but he's like, I'm American. I didn't grow up speaking Spanish. And I'm thinking, okay, Spanish-speaking friends, and there are so many different kinds of Spanish. Apparently, like, there are a gazillion different dialects.
Yes.
And so May and I tried our best, and I used my high school Spanish, which was un poquito. And what did you do, May?
Well, I just said, hola, señor.
Hola.
Este es guapo.
Oh, muy guapo.
Guapo. I want to, yo necesito chico, es muy guapo.
Y con mucho dinero.
Mucho dinero. Mucho dinero. The mucho dinero, the better.
Oh my gosh.
I think me and you would have a really good time hanging out.
Yes, I want to go to San Juan. Maybe that's where my sugar daddy named Juan is.
Yes, there we go. We can get you Juan in San Juan.
Yes. You see, because I am so over some of these guys. One told me
Me too, girl. Me too.
One told me that he was a prince, and he was and he said, I'm a prince. I met him on the internet. He was from Nigeria, and I had to send him money as if.
As if. How dare they?
Oh gosh, May, what am I going to do with you?
Well, April, I taught you everything that you know.
You taught me everything that I know. Really?
Yes. You see, April wrote a book on ventriloquism called Don't Read My Lips.
Okay.
And
But you know what's fascinating? I'm fully, like, when you are her, I'm fully tapped in. And then, like, when you talk, then I'm, like, looking at you. It's so fascinating.
Well, actually, what's funny about that is people get mad at her.
Oh.
I've had instances where I thought that they were going to punch her. We were doing a street show.
Somebody wants to punch the puppet?
Yeah, we were doing
Who wants to punch a puppet?
We were doing a street show in New York City.
Oh my God, I don't even need these.
Yeah, we were doing a street show in Brooklyn, and and it was and it was during the time in my life where my mom was begging me to move home like every day. So we're doing this.
You're originally from
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, right outside of Bethel Park.
Okay.
And she was begging me to move home, and I'm doing a show with May in Brooklyn. And May, you were hitting on somebody.
Yes, and I asked him to be my sugar daddy. And he said he didn't have any money, and I said, smell you later.
Okay.
And he went crazy, and he started chasing me in April.
No.
Yeah, and it turned out that he was like, a schizophrenic. And then the second time, you almost got punched. We were filming, the hidden camera show, What Would You Do, right?
Yes.
On NBC.
Did you ever make it on Keith and the Girl, the podcast?
No, but we've always wanted to. But anyway.
Well, because I feel like you all were running around the same circles around the same time.
Yes. And
did you ever make it to the Face Boy era of those crazy shows?
Yes, Face
Oh
Boy
my
loved
gosh.
May. And
I could see Face Boy liking May.
yes, Face Boy liked May. And so anyway, May and I were on What Would You Do? And there was and so it was a hidden camera thing.
Yes,
and so
yes.
The homeless lady was an actress. So this doorman is smoking a cigarette. He's having a bad day, all right? And so, May, what did you say to the homeless lady?
I said, hey, homeless lady, why don't you get some work ethic and some self-respect?
Oh, wow.
And so anyway, all of a sudden this doorman comes over. He's smoking his cigarette, and he is mad as hell. And he goes, stop making fun of the homeless lady. And I go, it's not me, it's her, And he goes, oh, yeah, well, when the cops come, they're going to arrest the both of yous.
And I wanted to say, well, they're welcome to arrest me. I love handcuffs.
I was going to say the tiniest pair of handcuffs in the world.
And so anyway, seconds later, John Quinones comes out with "What would you do?"
Yes.
And he's like, "You're making fun of homeless people." Well, anyway, so anyway, they're like, the homeless lady's an actress, so he gave the interview. But he was so mad at May. And then you almost got into it here in Vegas, right, May?
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So May and I are roommates. And we met on Craigslist,
Where all the good things happen.
and so we're talking about this on stage, and suddenly this lady goes, I was killed. My cousin was killed by the Craigslist killer. My cousin was killed by the Craigslist killer. And she's screaming. And so the usher's trying to get her to shut up, And May, what did you say?
I said, well, he killed the wrong family member.
And she storms out, and she's yelling and screaming, and so anyway, long story short, she demanded her money back because she got into a fight with a puppet.
Again, well, I guess I'm now getting the answer to my question of who wants to punch a puppet.
Well, I think that I'm lovable.
I think you're adorable.
Thank you.
I would take you out on a date.
Oh, really? Well,
Yes.
Good for you, because I love to give rug burn.
All right, well, I might just take you out on a date later.
All right. Good, because I'm really expensive.
I love expensive things.
Yes. What did I tell my sugar daddy, April?
Yeah, you told him that it was $10,000 a week.
What can I say? It's really expensive being me.
You and Linda Evangelista, darling.
Yes, see? There we go.
Neither of you get out of bed for less than $10,000, except
what-
you're not getting into bed for less than $10,000.
Exactly.
I love
it. All these people want stuff for free. Well, I say there's no romance without finance.
I know that's right, child. I'm over here teaching financial empowerment to women, so this is going to go into my seminar.
So May, what advice do you have for women?
Please, May.
My advice I have for women is, on the first date, order steak
Okay.
and order the most expensive drink.
Okay.
And if you can't pay for it, say this is going nowhere.
Oh, nice.
And then, before you do a second date, see the 401k.
Yes, I know that's right.
And then, for the third date, if things are going well, have them name you as beneficiary on the life insurance policy. And then for the fourth
I
date,
approve of this message.
And then for the fourth date, take them scuba diving and collect
To the Bahamas.
to the Bahamas. Exactly. It's so unfortunate.
So unfortunate. And then you dry your eyes at the funeral.
Of course.
The eyes that are not crying, but you're just dabbing at them because there's no tears coming out.
Exactly.
Because you're a puppet and puppets don't cry.
Exactly. But what most people don't know about moi is I'm an accomplished author.
Oh yes.
Okay, so in addition to so you're an accomplished author, May. I wrote the book. Don't Read My Lips, the how-to on ventriloquism.
You were just the voice in her head, obviously, right, May?
No. I told her what to write. I taught her everything she knows.
Don't Read My Lips is available on Amazon. It's my how-to on ventriloquism.
Yes.
Yes, and I'm the cover model. 'Cause
Cover girl.
Like Linda Evangelista.
Yes.
I don't get into bed for less than $10,000.
Talk to me about May. I'm sure you were very instrumental in this process, but I'm so fascinated with how you get a book published. Like, how does that happen? Does May go into the publishing office and sweet talk them into the deal?
Well, the funny thing is that my manager, Clinton Ford Billups Jr., was very instrumental in this because during COVID, the world shut down, and for years he's like, April, you should write a book about ventriloquism. And I was busy. I was living in New York. I'm performing with her. I'm working as a singing telegrammer to pay the bills.
Oh my gosh.
I was part of Murdered by the Mob, the longest running off-Broadway dinner theater show in New York City. And so I was busy working, and I'm like, I'm busy. And then I was getting an MFA in creative writing and screenwriting from Antioch University, Culver City.
Okay.
So I had a full plate. And then all of a sudden, when the world shut down, the excuses ran out. And May and I were doing...
or did the opportunity open up?
and the
May?
opportunity opened up.
And I said, April, get to work. I need a new leave, okay?
I'm so curious, May, what kind of car do you drive?
I drive a Porsche.
Oh.
But actually, here's the thing. I don't drive. I have a driver.
Of course you do.
Well, I gotta go meet my sugar daddy, but there's gonna be a really wealthy guy that's gonna be in here in a few minutes.
I love that. Is he single?
Well, it depends.
Okay, well, we're going to find out.
Well, what can I say? There's going to be a wealthy guy. This is going to be interesting. Wealthy could mean he's like wealthy Monopoly money.
Sure. Or, I mean, he could have $1 million hairs.
I know. He could be. One guy told me that he was rich in heart.
Of course.
And so, but
Soul.
sass. Like, you're rich in a lot of things, sometimes, like when I was 11, I had 1,000 chocolate coins.
There you go. Oh my gosh. Hello.
Hello, Donald J. Tramp, President of the United States. This interview's going so well that I want to grab a guy the pussy.
Hey, I need to ask you, are you going to take my citizenship away as a Puerto Rican?
I love Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico loves me.
You love
And
throwing
it's gonna
paper
be
towels at a stone.
Wait, but you threw paper towels at them, Mr. Tramp. President Tramp, you threw paper towels at them.
What can I say? I love my bounty.
This is everything all at once. Everything everywhere all at once. First of all, these tiny feet are fascinating. The long tie. I'm so sorry, Mr. Tramp. I didn't mean to mess up your tie. I don't know why I'm suddenly so drawn to you that I need to touch you.
Well, what can I say? I want you to be my fourth wife.
Wait, but you already have a wife.
Well, what can I say? I need the newest, hottest, youngest foreign import.
How about another daughter? Oh, wait, is that the same thing?
You're relying on my daughter.
Whoa, but Mr. Tramp, you were born outside the United States, right? In Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
She's going to be foreign born like the rest of your wives.
What can I say? There are some jobs that even Americans won't do.
I know, right? Like be on a microphone like this, right?
Yes, and this microphone is huge, just like me.
You know what's huge is your head.
I know, and something else is huge. Want to come to my room later?
I think it's your nose.
Well, can I tell you something? I have billions and billions of dollars.
Really?
Yeah, so you have billions and millions of dollars. And what else makes you qualified to be president?
Well, April, I'm master of everything, and I was president of Tramp University.
Oh, yes. What was the curriculum like over at Tramp University?
Yeah, especially since you were sued for fraud.
Well, the Better Business Bureau gave me a AAA rating.
Wait, the Better Business Bureau gave you a AAA rating?
Wrong, a triple K rating. KKK.
I'm just gagged right now. I can't even talk.
So Mr. Tramp, so President Tramp, sorry, it's
Yes.
so new.
Oh, yes, of course.
I can't believe
Forgive us.
Yes, forgive us. Are you going to build the wall? Okay, we're curious.
I'm gonna go to wall.
Please, is it going to be between me and you?
Yeah, it's gonna.
No, I'm gonna move closer. I'm gonna grab you by the pussy.
Mr. Tramp, I am so sorry.
But you know what? I grab back.
That's what makes me love you even more. We bueno. You see, I love the Latinos. The Latinos love me.
You know, I think I actually have the perfect gig for you. I mean, appointment. I mean, date. I think, do you want to go on a quick little date with me after our commercial break, I'm sorry, President Tramp?
Yes.
Okay, let's have a quick little date right after this commercial break. 3, 2, 1. Hi, hola, bonjour. It's MeMeCherry, your friendly neighborhood podcaster, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about the sponsor of our show, Neil Does Art. Thank you, Neil Does Art, for sponsoring SOFE Pod and MeMeCherry Productions. At neildoesart.com, you're going to find a full range of Eastern Sierra photography-inspired art. It's accessible art for all. And if you're anything like me and you like stickers, we love stickers around here. You can get some cute stickers like this beautiful bird that looks like she's got something to tell you. She's looking at you like, you're 5 minutes late and you were supposed to be here 30 minutes ago. That's what she's saying. Then we have this cute little deer who's kind of like, hey, Beach, we saw you from across the bar. What's your name? right? She's kind of giving, we saw you from across the bar. And then this little squirrel moment that's very much giving you, hey, beach. Anyhow, thank you, Neil Does Art, for sponsoring the show. Check them out, neildoesart.com. Use promo code CHERRY for 10% off. Thank you. Hey, everybody, we're back. This is the most unhinged episode of... Is the red light on? Okay. This is the most unhinged episode of Sophie Pod ever, and I am fully delighted. I have a game, actually, that I want to play with you, President Tramp, and your lovely, lovely other date. We're all on a triple date right now.
Yes, you see, I know French. Menage a trois.
Yeah, oui.
So, but Mr. Tramp, you know, you still haven't answered the question about the wall.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Yes, I'm going to build the wall. And Mexico said they're going to pay for it.
Yes.
All I have to do is go to the Western Union and pick up the money order. What could possibly go wrong?
All the things.
And so you're going to ask me questions? Fake news, fake news, fake news.
This is perfect because I have a puppet PR nightmare crisis management game.
Okay, let's see what this is. Oh gosh.
So we are now at a live press conference. Flashes are going, the journalists are going wild, and I have found out that you're, I was going to say sweet puppet, but I don't know if that's the right word. You're wonderful. I don't know if that's the right one either. Your puppet here has been caught up in a scandal. And I want to see how your puppet reacts to this scandal.
Okay, let's see how you react, President Tramp.
President Tramp, I've heard that you've been exposed for photoshopping abs onto your pictures.
What can I say? I am so fit, and so's my boyfriend Elon. No homo, no homo, no homo.
But what do you think of the LGBTQ people?
I love the BLTQ people. I mean, you're fisting me now, duh.
But are your abs real or not?
My abs are real, just like my love for you, April. What are you doing? You are grabbing me.
President Tramp, how dare you?
Yeah,
you're supposed to be grabbing me.
Exactly. After all, you're the real news, not like the fake news, fake news, fake news.
But I heard that this scandal made its way onto Twitter, aka your boyfriend's website, X. And over on X, they're saying that you're actually don't have a six-pack. You just have a barrel, like a beer barrel.
What do you say about that?
Well, this is coming from the mouth of Bill Less Than Marvelous.
Wait, you mean Bill Maher?
Yes, Bill Less Than Marvelous. Now, I don't like Bill Less Than Marvelous because April and I went to Milwaukee for the Republican National Convention.
True story.
Okay.
And it was the day before, it was the day that you got shot.
Yes, it's only a flesh wound. It's nothing a little needle and thread couldn't fix. You see, I wasn't ready to hang it up and become a Kardashian just yet.
So anyway, Bill Maher, backed out of his appearance. Jon Stewart backed out because, people didn't want to be on the wrong side of this. And Mr. Tramp, you showed up outside of the theater with Bill Maher.
Yes, and the loser wasn't there.
And so Mr. Tramp and I were the last comic standing in Milwaukee at the RNC. And so I guess that's who's been spreading this.
Yes, Bill Less Than Marvelous and John No Show Stewart, I'm watching you.
So go on.
I'm so sorry to tell you, breaking news. Breaking news. We've just found out about another scandal, President Tramp.
Wow.
You have just been caught stealing candy from babies and reselling it for profit. How say you?
Well, what can I say? My legal bills won't pay themselves.
But this baby is saying that they maybe stole it from you first.
Ooh, what do you have to say about that?
So you mean the baby is Hillary Clinton?
Oh my God!
Wait, breaking news. We have heard from Twitter X users that it actually is Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton.
Well, I don't know that he's a baby, but he does sleep in a diaper.
And so do you, I think I've heard.
Yeah, do you sleep in a diaper?
No, but I have nap time.
What do you like to do for nap time?
Well, I like to dream of going Greenland. Hey, baby, do you want to go to Greenland someday?
Sure. Are you going to give me some greenbacks to go with you to Greenland?
Yes, I'm going to go to Greenland with you. And I'm gonna throw bounty in the people of Greenland.
Mr. Tramp.
No, that's Puerto Rico. That's Puerto Rico.
That's Puerto Rico, number one. And number two, you know that there aren't a ton of people in Greenland. It's a sheet of ice.
Yeah, it's actually quite icy.
Fake news, fake news. There are lots of people in Greenland and there's lots of money. That's why they call it Greenland.
Oh my God. America, is this the best we could do?
Well, how about I'll let you take me to Greenland only if we make a stop in Iceland along the way.
Yes, I'd love to take you there and show you my fjord.
I don't even know what to say either.
Seamus, do you want to ask anything of President?
I'm a little bit afraid at this point.
You're afraid to ask President Tramp?
Do you have a question? Do you have a pre-release question or no?
I just needed a second to.
You just needed a breather?
My brain was starting to melt a little bit there.
Yeah, living with him is like,
Yeah.
He's always like this.
What can I say?
Oh wait, I think
Shameless reminds me of the son I've never had.
I think I found what I needed to finish this press conference. Last but not least, the baby did just call me up. I ran really quick and took the phone call. And the baby did say that you said to the baby, and I quote, "Finders keepers, kid."
Yes, I said finders keepers, kid, and you should fire your parents and get new ones.
Thank you for playing.
Of course. Do I get a kiss?
Wow, I haven't had that much accent in a long time, actually.
And you want to talk about people getting mad at a puppet? He's been
I just kissed a puppet
Yes.
of Donald Tramp.
He actually got. He's been like.
You're good.
Thank you. He had a bodyguard when we went to Milwaukee. What? Yes.
Did you hit? No. Did May hit on the bodyguard?
May actually, she had other plans. She didn't come to Milwaukee, but
Okay.
he was in Milwaukee. And before we went, we weren't sure how violent it was going to be.
Sure.
He had a bodyguard.
That's amazing.
Yes. So I'm not bodyguard famous, but he is.
Well, I mean, you're with the talent.
And then we were in Cleveland, I believe, back in 2016, marching with Stand Together Against Trump. And these were doctors that were protesting Trump. And this guy comes up to us with a cowboy hat and a sidearm, and he goes, "Why do you hate Donald Trump?" And I had my talking points, and I said, "I don't like Donald Trump. I don't hate Donald Trump. I hate the ideas." He goes, "I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to him." And of course, my manager Clinton Billups is feet away, and he's trying to alert a cop because this guy looks like Lee Harvey Oswald.
Sure.
Crazy. So anyway, long story short, he says to like after a few minutes, he's fighting with Donald J. Tramp, and he goes, "If that's how you feel, fine." And he walks away. And what'd you say?
Loser!
Of course you did. And then he went and voted for you.
Of course he did.
So one thing that you might not be surprised is that this super talented human has a master's degree in creative arts. What's it like to pursue something like a master's degree? Because to me, that tells me that you're quite dedicated to your craft.
Oh, I'm super dedicated. And actually, because I'm kind of notoriously dedicated, but I wanted to write, I wanted to adapt my first book, I Came, I Saw, I Sang, Memoirs of a Singing Telegram Delivery Girl, to a screenplay. And I'm currently working on a series with that book. And anyway, long story short, I wanted to write more vehicles with these guys. And we had done a show called The Lady and President Tramp, where May stole the show as Kellyanne One Way.
Okay.
Yes. And what did you feel about that?
Loser!
Okay, be nice. Be nice. May is a little salty. Should I bring May out to talk about
Please.
Okay, all right.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Tramp. We'll go on our date later.
Well, May, what do you have to say to Mr. Tramp?
Oh, gosh. Well, you wrote me a hush money check and it bounced. Well, I write books on business and they all stop at chapter 11. Loser, loser, loser. Okay, good. Wow. You both go off my arm. You see, this is what it's like. I don't get a moment's peace with any of them. Any of them. And then he's gotten hate mail. I did a show with him.
Wow.
Somebody threatened to blow up the venue.
Okay, talk to me about how do they address that? Does the show get canceled? Like, what
Actually,
happens?
the show went on.
Well, good for you.
But the waiter was this 21-year-old kid. He's like, I'm not gonna die for this show. Like, he was like, it was like Much Ado About Nothing. It was a MAGA Twitter extremist.
Oh my gosh. You know, you're right. I mean, our previous guest definitely, lots of amazing things came out of that mouth. But Seamus was like, I think you're going to also be just as equally impressed with April. And you know what, Seamus? You earned your paycheck for the weekend with this one guest right here.
Yeah, Seamus, Seamus has been, he's been wonderful. He was great to deal with. You have a fabulous assistant.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And my great grandmother, who was off the boat from Ireland, would also be thrilled that I'm dealing with a guy named Seamus.
Puerto Rican, common misconception.
Oh, there you go. Puerto Rican. There you go. Irish Puerto Rican. Are you really Puerto Rican?
No.
Never know.
No, not in the slightest, no.
We just keep talking about taking him to Puerto Rico someday, which is a thing that we like to do on this show, is manifest and talk about what we want to happen. So if we're going to do the manifestation exercise for April,
Okay.
what are we manifesting for the future? I heard some things that you're working on. Is there anything that you want to share that you're hoping will come to fruition, or are we keeping things close to the chest until they do?
Well, I have no problem sharing. I'm in pre-production for the next season of my chat show, April in Vegas. I interview people like you do, but
Beautiful.
I'm not quite as good as you. And I'm not quite as bilingual either. I'm going to work on my Spanish. And I do it at the pool, from the poolside of the English Hotel.
Oh, well, I'm jealous about that.
Yes, in downtown Las Vegas.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And anyway, I interview the cultural renegades and with my co-host Steve Dennis, and my puppets do Puppets on the Street with me. And I am working on more music and just working on a little bit of everything. But more than anything, I want to go around the world with my puppets, and I want to go to San Juan to do a show now.
Yes. Okay, I think you're perfect to ask. I've been working on a few different video ideas, and I'm kind of throwing things at the wall. And so I had come with an idea of, I was trying to recreate a different YouTuber where she covers her face in rhinestones, but I did it like in drag, so it looked like I had makeup in rhinestones. And the idea was that we were going to hit the strip and like ask people to play games with us. But then I got a little scared at the last minute last night and just like chickened out and didn't do it.
You should have.
Okay, there was you. So next time we come back, you think that it's something that we should do?
Yes, I do. And hopefully, and I'm also in pre-production for a new residency called Dummies After Dark. And so, hey, and don't tell them I call them dummies. They'll be happy to hit the strip with you.
Oh my God, that would be great. Okay, well then, Seamus, I think we might have to start thinking about our return trip to Vegas later this year. Okay, so let me now. You were so good. I love when I don't have to look at my notes, but now I actually have to do some proper work and look at my notes, so I can ask you some questions and not let the puppets do all the work. Okay, so when did you first discover that you had this insanely amazing talent?
Oh gosh, I don't know if it's insanely amazing.
It is to me. Did I not look like a little kid at Disneyland for the last, I don't know how long that's been, but my cheeks are hurting from smiling.
Well, I was 13. I grew up outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I was kind of shy, and so I got a. So anyway, we were watching TV one Friday night after one of my brother's football games. My dad hates commercials. Changed the channel, and they had an Edgar Bergen TV special on. And the rest of my family members tried to talk like the ventriloquists. I have my great-grandmother's sideways Irish smile, Seamus. And she was the only one that could do it. Okay, Mr. Nowhere. See, this is the random voice. And that Christmas, my mother got me a Groucho Marx puppet.
I love that. Do you still have that puppet?
Yeah, it's still at my mom's house, but I did all these shows at the nursing home with him, and one of the residents accidentally broke him. But he was well loved. We got 3 or 4 years of good life out of Groucho.
Do you have like an artist that makes your puppets? Do you make your own puppets?
Oh gosh, Donald J. Tramp was Pictures to Puppets. She's in Scotland. You send her a picture, she makes you a puppet.
Oh my gosh.
May Wilson was Mary Ann Taylor, and that's actually Jeff Dunham's puppet maker.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And so then, does the voice come first and then the character? Does the character come first and then the voice? What's your process? Do they just show up one day, like you wake up one morning and you're suddenly talking in like in a new voice?
Well, sometimes I'll see a puppet and I'll be like, oh my gosh.
You have to be mine.
Yeah, or sometimes I'll come up with a character like Donald Trump or the Tramp character, Donald J. Tramp. It was
President Tramp. I'm so sorry.
President Tramp. It was going to be a Trump, but Trump trademarked his name.
Of course he did.
Yes. And I thought, well, why not just make him Tramp,
Sure.
because a tramp is a fop or a folly. And Mae Wilson, when I was about 17, everybody's like, April, you have to have a puppet that looks like you. And I was like, what? They're like, yeah. So Mae Wilson is based off of a girl that was really mean to me back in the day, but also a girl that I was friends with in high school who was like, her name was Erin, and every time she saw you, she'd go, Era, 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 and she was captain of the cheerleaders. Everybody loved her, and her dream in life was to marry a rich doctor and never work.
Oh my gosh.
And she's still and we're still friends. But she was friends with everyone.
Sure.
Yes.
What's the hardest part of an act like ventriloquism?
The hardest part is, just coming up with new stuff, and it's like any comedian, keeping your audience engaged.
Sure.
Do
you deal with hecklers?
Oh gosh, yes. And I've had hecklers get into fights with my puppets. Everybody deals with hecklers. And I think women especially, unfortunately, deal with hecklers.
Sure.
But it's part of the gig, It's like every job has its ups and downs. My sister's an emergency room doctor, and she deals with people dying for real. Yeah. I just die on stage. So there we go.
See, Seamus? It's not that bad. Even insanely talented people bomb on stage, too. What would you?
No, I do. Oh my God!
Actually, am I assuming here?
No, it's true. It's true. Anybody that
I just got scared all of a sudden.
No. Anybody that tells you that they don't bomb on stage is lying to you. Seinfeld used to walk into the Comedy Cellar in New York City with a notebook, and sometimes he'd bomb.
Sure.
But it would be a show, it would be packed, and he'd be like, yeah, whatever, I bombed. Chris Rock would come up and he'd bomb sometimes.
Sure.
Dave Chappelle would bomb. And they were established comics. Sure. And so anybody who tells you I don't bomb is just really delusional, or they're lying to you. Sure. And one of an Aaron Berg, who I think is very funny, saw me somewhere and I'd met him. And I said, oh yeah, I met you at a show. He goes, how'd you do? I said, well, I think I did okay. He goes, really, how'd you do? I said, okay, I ate it, Aaron. He goes, yeah, that if you're getting up 7-8 times a week, you'll eat it most times. Like, that's just the math. So yeah. Everybody bombs.
Yeah. Everybody poops and everybody bombs.
Exactly.
What a segue. Before I forget, I want to make sure that we give a quick little shout out to the sponsor of our show, Neil Does Art. We have this cute postcard here. You can get their Eastern Sierra photography inspired art in many different forms. You can get a metal print. You can get postcards. You can get pins. There's tapestries. There's all kinds of things that you can find at neildoesart.com. If you use the promo code CHERRY, you can get 10% off. Shout out, Neil. Thank you, sponsors. Before we wrap up, I'm so curious. New York is not an easy town to make it in.
No.
Give me the rose and thorn of your time in the Big Apple.
The rose was it made me the woman I am today. It made me more sure of myself. I learned a lot of difficult lessons. I paid my dues the right way. That was the rose. The thorn, unfortunately, is New York is very hard. You learn very quickly that a lot of people don't respect talent. You learn very quickly that a lot of people don't feel women should be in comedy. You learn very quickly how many people feel that there should be sex for representation, about how guys aren't that great. You learn how people will stab you in the back. You learn how hard it is to make it. And you learn that being a good performer and a working performer aren't mutually exclusive. And you learn a lot of the hard lessons. But the thorns teach you to get back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because and if you're listening, watching, whatever, just because you're knocked down doesn't mean you have to stay down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there are a lot of people counting on you to stay down. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Is a lot of people count on you to stay down, but New York City is a city that teaches you to get back up, because guess what? New York keeps moving and you have to keep moving too.
And there's power in the comeback.
Yeah, there's always power in the comeback. And so New York gives you the choice. You can stay down and develop the loser mentality where it's everybody else's fault that you're not working.
Ooh.
And that, or it's everybody else's fault, or it's the industry's fault, or everybody knows something. Or you could say, you know what? Opportunity's not knocking and there's no door. So gosh darn it, I'm going to build that door.
I know that's right. Make a window.
Yeah, make a window. And
so
then
you can see outside.
And then, you know, and even though I don't really build stuff, that was a crazy little door. So
now that you're here in Vegas, what has been the rose and the thorn of working in Vegas?
well, the rose has been that I have been doing everything I've always dreamed of doing since I could walk.
That's beautiful.
And I have a lot of incredible people in my corner, like my manager, Clinton Ford Billups Jr.
I love how much you like big up your people.
Thank you. You have to in this business. You absolutely have to, because it is so hard to find people that are in your corner and believe in you. And another rose is my dog Goldie, my beloved Wheaton. I love her so much. She loves me even when I bomb. She still loves me. Like, I'm like, gosh darn it, somebody loves me. And, of course, April in Vegas, my co-host Steve Dennis. But one of the thorns has been, unfortunately, I moved to Las Vegas. I opened a show, and then the pandemic happened.
Oh, yeah.
And then, I produced a season of April in Vegas, and then the SAG-AFTRA strike happened.
Oh, gosh.
And so, but Vegas is a city that's always changing. And guess what? You experience a setback, so you got to change your plans.
Exactly.
Yeah, and Vegas is the city of the hustler. So
yeah, for sure. Yes, I agree. I suspect you would be a dodger of said situations, but have you had to dodge creepy casting couch like moments along the way?
Oh, everybody has to.
Yeah.
There was one guy who, I kid you not, he invited me to his apartment to audition for something, and he wanted to know if I wanted to have a drink. And I said, I think I left something outside.
Good job.
I ran.
Good job.
But yeah, everybody has to dodge them. And then I've had people give me rides home that weren't kosher. I've had comedy bookers that tried to sleep with me because, they felt, or I had headliners that, they thought, she's opening up for me. She can open up for me. And that was the funniest thing he ever said.
I know that's right.
So
isn't that funny, the entitlement?
Yeah, the entitlement, the male entitlement in this business is something else. But, and I've had to deal with a lot of that. But guess what? It's like, just as there are bad guys, there are good guys too.
Yeah, of course.
I've had a lot of male friends have my back.
Yes.
Actually, I've, and there was, they've made sure that I got home safely. And I've had a lot of people that have had my back too.
Beautiful.
But unfortunately, everybody has to deal with that. And they were pressuring her for sex in exchange for representation, and she wanted my advice. I said, go to the police. That's what you do. Go to the police. That is illegal.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you, my gosh, are fascinating. You're on the top of the list for when we come back. We're gonna have to have you back on the show because I feel like we just barely chipped at the tip of the iceberg.
Thank you.
That is April. We are gonna have you stick around for a little bit, but you all that are listening or watching, come on over to the Patreon so you can get one last little bite of April. We're going to have April play What's in My Tell Fee. What's this Patreon that I'm talking about? Patreon.com/MeMeCherry Productions. It helps put on this beautiful circus that is this show. It helps me bring talented people like Seamus on board to help produce the show and bring amazingly talented guests like April on the show. It literally could not happen without you. If you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. What kind of emoji should they leave if they enjoyed the show?
Leave the kissy face emoji. That's my favorite.
Kissy face and an angel. And Seamus, I think we're ready to land the plane. All right, we're gonna just touch tips of microphones, and so ding.
Ding.
MeMeCherry presents a series of fortunate events. Fortunate events.